What's happening, everybody? This is Mike at Mike's Total Dragon Channel, and today we are going to do a review and recap of Savage Dragon number 17. So we will go ahead and hop right into it. And this issue of Savage Dragon has two covers. As you can see on this first one, it's basically kind of a generic dragon action pose, while this one has Rapture and She-Dragon on it. And if you pull back on it, you'll see the fire is intersecting, and that kind of ties in a little bit to the story that we're about to go through. Everything on the inside is exactly the same on both issues, so there's really no difference outside of just the cover. And as always, our creator, writer, penciler, inker, Erik Larsen. We open up with She-Dragon on the top of this building here doing a fourth wall break. You know, she was doing fourth wall here in 1995, breaking the fourth wall, addressing the reader. And as she's observing Dragon's apartment, she's also observing someone else observing Dragon. And while she's doing some surveillance, the various voices that are in her head are talking to her, and she gets spotted by this entity who's stalking the Dragon floating outside his apartment. And as we know from last issue, this is the mother of the girl who was murdered in Dragon's apartment by some nut job that had an axe to grind with Dragon. So she's basically possessed by rage and hatred, and she feels that it's the Dragon's fault that her daughter died. We see Dragon and Rapture. Their next morning after their night or what have you. Then we see everyone from Dragon's apartment building has come to his door and say, you're dangerous to be around. We want you to move. It's time for you to get out of here. And they even mention Debbie Harris was shot, who is the young girl that was the mother is floating outside observing Dragon. And of course Rapture shows up buck naked and just throws fuel on the fire. Meanwhile, we cut here to Overlord. We have a little bit of a situation with him. He's addressing the various going-ons that's been occurring within the Vicious Circle. The fact that Cyberface is on the loose, and he's the one person that knows who Overlord really is. And also they're addressing the fact that Skullface, although he's still alive, he's in serious condition following Frank Darling battling him. And as you can see by this panel right here with Overlord, he just kind of is a little fed up with everything. So the kind of what this issue here is, it touches upon a lot of the storyline that's been happening recently. This is kind of like a break in the action, you know. So we kind of see Dragon returning back to the police force, people protesting outside. Then we've got this gentleman here who is basically, he's the J. Jonah Jameson character, and he's plotting his attack on the Dragon. And these characters here, they're the homeless freaks in Chicago, and Cyberface was living with them, and he looks kind of like he's moving around even though he's supposed to be dead. He gave him the slip. And here we have another page with the J. Jonah Jameson guy. His name is R. Richard Richards. They're having a conversation with this fella here about the attack they're about to unleash on the dragon. Then we cut back to Dragon at the police force. Rapture starting to feel a little jealous over his friendship with some of the females in the department. And Dragon basically says here, he's like, I feel guilty, but there's nothing I could do, nothing, and it's driving me crazy. So he's kind of frustrated with all the in addition to all the blame that's being placed on him. Now Rapture is putting that guilt trip on him of having female friends at work. And then this is the big dragon machine here that we find out that, in addition to it being a dragon, it also breathes fire, which roasts all of the clothes that the dragon is wearing. And we've got a pin-up here of all of Erik Larsen's characters chasing him. Fun pin-up. And we see that R. Richard Richards is remote controlling this dragon slayer. And this is kind of a just like a homage or a callback to when J. Jonah Jameson had the Spider Slayer and attacked Spider-Man. Rapture tries to help out, but her electricity just gets channeled right into Dragon. She-Dragon enters the fray, and she just ends up getting blasted. Dragon finally manages to get free, and he utterly destroys that robot. Meanwhile, in the aftermath of getting breathed on with fire, all of She-Dragon's hair is gone. Then this next page, we cut to Alex Morgan. She is in jail, or not in jail, I'm sorry, she's in the hospital after getting injured when Dragon went to Berserk. And this is her boyfriend, the firefighter. And he's there in support of his girlfriend, sitting by her bedside. He says, please talk to me, please talk to me. And the only thing that Alex says to him is, Dragon, is that you, Dragon? So he's crushed by that he's at the bedside of his girl, and the only person that she calls out for is her partner, Dragon. Meanwhile, we see Savage Dragon. He's confronted R. Richard Richards about his Dragon Slayer. And he tells him, it's for the better of the public. He's like, you're a killer. You cracked before. You'll do it again. I'm trying to take back our city. Blah, 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 blah. Dragon carries him off to be arrested. And then we get back to his apartment. Dragon meets the people who are boycotting him living there. He opens the door. I've been expecting you. And as we know from the start of this issue, this is the person inside the apartment is that big possessed floating entity that is the mother that has a real big hate on for Dragon. So that is issue 17. We've got a couple of got a letter right here. This is the envelope. Cool dragon face on it. Again, best letters page in the biz. And this is the preview, not the preview, but the other cover. And even Erik Larsen chimes in. Here's the ultimate cover to this issue of Dragon. All its glory. Don't think you have to have both. Blah, 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 blah. And then on the back, we get a plug for Freak Force 15, which is kind of like the sister book to Dragon. But all in all, this issue of Savage Dragon right here is mostly kind of tying up some different plots. expanding on them, because the past couple of issues were so action heavy. Some of the stuff kind of got left in the background, forgotten about, and ignored for an issue or two. But this issue right here is Larson's attempt to get everything back up to speed and everything back on track before the next big storyline kicks off. But that is Savage Dragon number 17. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.